What is up, y'all? Goofy Rexy here, and hope everybody is doing well. And welcome, guys, to the weekly headliner update, week number 42. Now, if you're new to the weekly headliner, this is where we discuss what is upcoming this week in Marvel Strike Force, and then we recap the important topics from the previous week as well. Now, this week we got a lot to talk about, guys. The Lady Deathstrike event is going to be rolling around this Friday. We're going to talk about what that looks like here and how to prepare for the event. The Silver Samurai event started. The honorable orbs, whoo, a little sus. so a few things to talk about where that is concerned. We did get some availability update for Captain Sam, where he's going to be going. Pretty decent in comparison to where else he could have gone. Curious question though, where is Sharon Carter going to land, and how soon can we expect Omega Red? We're going to talk about that in this video as well. And then we got some talks about some T5s potentially coming to Marvel Strike Force. Not sure when, but we could talk about here in this video the impact that could potentially have here on the game and on some characters that definitely do need to get some T5s on them to make them a little bit better. We're going to talk about that and so much more, guys, in this video, and we're going to start right now. All right, welcome back, y'all. And if it's the first time coming to the channel here and you would like to see some more Marvel Strike Force content, then consider hitting that subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell so that you would know when my videos do go live. And then down below in the description of the video here, there's a few other links. One where you can join my Discord. There's also a few other links where you can follow me on Twitch, Facebook, and Twitter. I do stream Marvel Strike Force content on a weekly basis and Future Revolution every now and again. And then also Twitter and Facebook just for you to get some updates here on what's going on. And then Amazon coins, if you're looking to save some money here on your Marvel Strike Force in-game purchases, that's how I save up to 20% off of my in-game purchases here. Then Amazon coins is right for you. And then my Patreon link, that's another way for you to support the channel here. So take a look at that as well. But let's dive into the first topic for this week, which are going to be our character blitzes. So this week, character blitzes are going to be Stature and not Wolverine. We have Multiple Man and we have Stature. So Stature's blitz is going to be tonight, and then we also do have Multiple Man's blitz, which is going to be on Thursday. Now Multiple Man, the blitz for Multiple Man here probably is going to coincide with some of the event that's going on for Lady Deathstrike. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later. I think largely both of these characters are pretty important, right? If you're looking to unlock Jubilee, then you definitely need to get some shards for Stature. If you're looking to unlock Adam Warlock, then you're going to need some shards as well here for Multiple Man. I actually just realized that I have him at 7 stars. Didn't realize that before, but that's good. That means that next time when Adam Warlock rolls around, I'll be able to unlock him at 7 stars here, as long as I can get Stature up to 7 stars as well. But like I said, those are going to be the blitzes for this week. Now, in terms of comparison, looking at some of the blitz predictions here, this was the last blitz that we have for White Tiger. Now, she's a blitz character. The numbers here were, the prediction numbers were 50.6 million, 27 million for top 1%. 2 to 3 was 17.4 million. I could see where numbers could be a little bit higher, primarily mostly for Multiple Man, because the event's going to be going on at that time. The Lady Deathstrike event is going to be going on, so numbers could potentially be a little bit higher here. But those are going to be the blitzes for this week. Pay attention to those. Grab some shards here that you need for those characters. Now, next couple other things that are going on this week here to talk about is that we do have a legendary that's returning, which is the legendary Black Bolt. Now, Black Bolt's kind of in a weird position, right? I personally think that he's still useful, but if you've already built him up at high investment, then definitely he's useful there. If you have not already built up Black Bolt and you're just going to be unlocking him, first of all, congratulations for unlocking Black Bolt. If you haven't built him up already, man, I mean, you probably don't need to, right? Leave him at gear tier 12. Use them to unlock Ebony Maw with the rest of the Inhuman characters and kind of just move on from there. In my opinion, he is a good character still. Definitely, for sure. I do think that he has a lot of impact. I'm using him on a War Offense team right now, and he's one of the reasons why I win those matchups. I'm not saying that he's not a useful character. I'm just saying that with the meta where it is right now, he's probably not a character that you need to go that hard on, unless, like I said, you're trying to get Ebony Maw there. But either way, congratulations on those who are going to be unlocking Black Bolt. There is a double drop event going on right now for the Asgardian characters. Also good that you're still getting those 10 shards for each character in the login calendar as well for Black Bolt, or for the characters that you need to unlock Black Bolt. But remember, the double drop does benefit characters that are in the campaign only: Loki, Hela, and Thor. So take advantage of those before that ends. That's going to be ending tonight at whatever for me it would be 8 p.m. or whatever the offer reset time is. Some other things that are going on this week as well. We have Relicunt that's rolling back around this week as well. So you need your hand characters in order to be able to complete this event. There's also going to be a double drop event for the characters that are going to be in campaign nodes at some point in time this week as well. Usually it happens about 2 days before the event or the day before the event or so. Make sure that you take advantage of the double drop option that you have available for those characters. But next, we're going to dive into the Lady Deathstrike event and talk about the details for that. All right, so like I said, we're going to talk about the Lady Deathstrike event. This is going to be happening on this Friday. That's when it's going to go live. So at your offer reset time here, that is when this event is going to kick off for you, which is going to be the second day of the multiple mana blitz, which is the reason why I talked about that there. But live on the Friday, there's going to be this test subjects milestones. So scoring: unleash characters with the limited time Pierce Veil trait, 31 available characters in blitz or battle in arena and raids with any character to earn points towards the text subject milestone. So if you actually filter out your roster right now, you can see the Pierce Veil characters that you have available. Pretty good characters if you ask me, right? Wolverine, obviously Lady Deathstrike is going to be there. Surfer, Ghost, Hela, Kestrel are notable characters, Nebula, Sinister Phoenix. I mean, there's a lot of really good characters that you can use here. Deathpool is there as well. So some pretty decent options. I think even across the board, some earlier, even mid-game, maybe mid-game players probably have access to some of these characters as well. So I think that for the most part, if you're doing it, so my understanding of this event here is that you get more points, I believe, if you use the Pierce Veil characters for blitzes, but it doesn't matter, I think, for your raids or arena, that you can just use any characters that you're going to be able to get those points. So that kind of breaks down the points here. Duration 24 hours each milestone for 10 days total. Win or lose arena, you get 120. Win or lose raid, you get 50 points. Win blitz with the trade, you get 10 points. Win blitz, 25 points. So for the most part, these events, you usually can get through it or get enough points by doing about 4 to 5 blitz rotations a day. It's not really, which is still kind of a little bit blitz heavy, right? Like I'm kind of getting tired of blitz right now. I usually only do I'm doing about 3 rotations a day, mainly for RTA. I guess I'll up it to 4, but I really am not really a crazy blitz person anymore. I just don't see that the impact is there, even if I'm pushing for character shards. But I also will say this, that I think 4 to 5 blitz rotations is fine. I think also one of the changes that they've made to some of their recent events here was making sure that you could get points with using any character in arena or raids. I remember the Moon Dragon event where they force you to have to use characters that also have the trait in order for you to get points in arena and raids, and that kind of felt really bad. So I'm glad that they've actually shifted away from that now and kind of move forward in this. And also about blitz too, it's not you don't have to worry about getting rank rewards with blitz, so therefore this actually benefits all players because you're going to be able to get your points anyways when it comes to blitzing. So you don't have to worry about, I got to get top 2 to 3%, I got to get top 1%. No, you're blitzing and it's all about your activity and how much blitzing you're willing to do in order for you to be able to get the points that you need. Now continuing on down here to talk about the rewards for this event include Lady Deathstrike character shards, mini candy. Now mini candy is going to be the event currency. Silver phase bits, not to be confused with silver flash bits, because those silver flash bits are for Emma's costume, but these silver phase bits are going to be for the ancient pharaoh costume for Venom. I'm sorry, every time I think about Venom in the pharaoh costume, the crap makes me laugh. Let's look at it one more time. I'm sorry, this for comedic relief. It gets me every time, man. This is hysterical. The more I think about this, the more I want this costume. You have no idea. But seriously though, let's digress. Let's go back to this being a professional video. So silver face bits, as well as advanced, superior, and augmented catalyst parts, mini candy and event store. So this is where you're going to be able to use mini candy or mini candy event currency via these test subject milestone, and then trading your candy in the event store to devour scary good rewards, including Lady Deathstrike shards, silver face bits, augmented superior uniques. Items in the event store may differ each day or in between store refreshes, so check back often. One of the things I want to point out here is that they didn't mention any character orbs right? So usually for the Moon Dragon, like for the Moon Dragon event, events like that, we've gotten character orbs. So I'm assuming that once you get in these tech subject milestones, that you can get enough of the mini candy event currency. Maybe there's an orb, because they mentioned including Lady Deathstrike character shards. So maybe that's one way that they're doing, is that they might be giving you an orb where you're guaranteed to get Lady Deathstrike shards, and that's how they're doing it. I don't know, but I just thought it was kind of interesting that there wasn't a specific indication of, hey, there's a character orb here. So curious to see how they're going to be implementing this event here, but looks like a pretty decent event. Like I said, for the most part, these events typically tend to be somewhat player friendly. Apart from the Moon Dragon event, they usually player friendly, and they do typically tend to give some pretty good rewards. So hopefully this goes well. We'll probably be doing some calculations on Friday to make sure that everybody can hit what they need to hit. And we'll go from there. All right. And I know a lot of people have talked about this already, but I had to give my 2 cents on this, man, because this is, it's a feel bad moment again, right? So obviously the Silver Samurai event that went live. It went live, at least for me, I didn't have any bugs. Now, I usually wait about an hour or so after the event goes live before I do anything. So I didn't experience any bugs whenever I was doing the event here, but I've been getting some pretty good drops so far. I did buy Silver Samurai, and I did get him to 45 shards just to get the unlock. I think I got like 20 shards over. But so far, I've actually been able to land some pretty decent shards for him. Let me see. He's here at the boosted drop rate. So yeah, we're about almost at 4 stars. So let me know, guys, where are you guys right now with your shards? How good have you been getting of drops here? But let's talk about the other characters in this orb, man. They're absolutely terrible. Like in the vacuum, some of them aren't bad, right? Like when you look at it, like Daredevil's not terrible. Mordo is okay. Like you can use him. He's not a top tier character, but he's not a trash character. Strange's kind of in a similar boat. Nobody needs Drax, but nobody really needs any of these shards. A lot of these characters, you can easily get them. Kree Royal Guard, Okoye, Ronin. Why are these characters here? There were so many better options, man, that were available. New Warriors, at least give us Deathpool. I get it. Like if you didn't give us, I would have been okay if they said, hey, we're not gonna give you Cloak, we're not gonna give you Dagger. They're like really, really new, right? Like they just got released. They were the last release characters before Deathstrike and Silver Samurai. I understand that. But Deathpool, I think Deathpool would have been a nice little added thing here. Or even if you just gave us either Cloak or gave us Dagger or a Heroes for Hire team or X Factor or some Infinity Watch characters. You could have at least sprinkled them into this orb. But we have the likes of Drax, Ironheart, Karnak, Kree. I get it. We need these characters now to unlock Nick Fury or to get higher stars on them. Storm. Why do you do this to us, Skullplay? I don't know. There was definitely a better way for them to manufacture this orb and to give us some more valuable characters that were in here, though. But speaking of Heroes for Hire, I mentioned Heroes for Hire as a couple options here that they could have given us. We did get some compensation. So we talked about this last week, and I wanted them to give us some compensation here for Heroes for Hire. Or I thought that they should have given us some compensation for Heroes for Hire. We talked about it in last week's headliner. And they did. They did actually give us some compensation. So this was a compensation that we got in the game for their text screw up here. They gave us 250k gold, 150 T3s, and I didn't get anything else. I don't know about you. I don't know what you got, but I didn't get anything else here. Now, don't get me wrong. The T3s are helpful. They're helpful. They're helpful for a lot of players. And I actually do I do think T3s and T2s at a certain level in this game are really, really, really challenging, right? I definitely do agree with that for sure. But I feel as if though they could have done more. This really helps more of the mid-game players, I would say, maybe earlier players. I feel like if you really wanted to compensate, you should have added things like T4s. Players invested T4s into this team, a lot of them. You could have given Orange Gear. Orange Gear was a good option that you could have thrown in here as compensation. Character shards. Character shards for Misty. Character shards for some of the other Heroes for Hire characters. That would have been a nice thing for them to do, and I think would have been better compensation. I don't want to be nitpicky, but 250k gold, one level after you get to like level 71, is like 370, then it go to like 400. I mean, come on, dude. A 250K goal is not really going to move the mark much. I think the compensation, in my opinion, they did the very, very bare minimum that they could have done. And I'm not gonna say it's distasteful, but Jesus, man, come on. You could have thought about it a little bit more, in my opinion. So the compensation, although is good, it's just a little something, little something that they get. It's almost like getting like your grandma giving you candy. Just be quiet. That's pretty much basically what we just got here. Was that? But the next thing I wanted to talk about here is, so Mobile made a video with Anand, of course, and this was an epic video. If you haven't watched this already, it's an exclusive. The video is called Exclusive Interview, Legendary Reworks, T5's coming. This is on Mobile Gamer 365, his channel there. Pretty funny video, but it talked about a few things that I think we knew for a while. We've been hearing a lot of rumors about this, right? T5's coming into Marvel Strike Force, potentially that being equipped, that being a new currency coming into the game. I wanted to talk about the potential impact that T5s could have here on Marvel Strike Force. I think they could actually be good, depending, of course, on who gets these T5s. I could see a world where they could probably, I think the way that they should go with this, in my opinion, is that they should put T5s on some of these older legendary characters, right? Like Star-Lord. Give them a T5, make them good again, right? So that they could be like these characters that are what they used to be. Some resemblance of what they used to be, top meta tier characters that they used to be back then, or top options that you could use back then. Magneto. I would like to see some of these older legendary characters, because in reality, some of these legendary characters, they don't feel legendary, right? They don't feel legendary anymore. Star-Lord doesn't feel legendary. Shuri, I know, has endgame viability, but her health pool doesn't carry very much in some of this endgame content, unless you have decent red stars on her. And even then, what's decent red stars? 5 or 6? You know, and are you really using promotion credits on Shuri? So I would like to see them make some changes. If what I would do first is I definitely would roll out T5s on some of these legendary characters. I then think that you could probably maybe, I think Black Bolt is a good character to put even a T5 on if it increases how good they are in the game. I'm just concerned about the currency that you're going to need. So here's my issue. Whenever people always say, well, you expect them to give you everything for free. Here's my issue whenever they gate content. So we've seen this already. Doom raids. They gated Doom raids behind ISO first green 5, ISO green level 5, ISO green level 4, right? They gated content behind that. Now these Doom 2 raids, they're gating that content behind ISO blue. In some situations, not necessarily ISO green, because they haven't made that better, but in some situations, what I think the problem and the issue happens, or the issue lies, is when you introduce new currency, but you haven't really fixed the old currency. And we're seeing that right now with the augmented teal gear, right? You've introduced new teal gear, augmented gear, but you haven't really increased the amount of orange gear that we're getting. So it feels bad when you can't really catch up to the current gear that's already the current currency, and then you're now introducing this new currency. That's kind of how I feel. I think T-Force for a lot of players are still largely a problem. For me, I typically tend to go with the minimal that I need on certain characters, and I don't overinvest. So I typically tend to have a decent amount. But you would think for somebody that does that, I would have like tens of thousands of it though, right? No, I don't. I think I literally have only like 3,800 or so T4s, and I'm going to use some of them on Weapon X. I'm going to use a little bit more on New Warriors, right? So but this is my issue. My issue is when people haven't even caught up to the current currency, and then you introduce this new currency and say that you have to use this new currency in order to be able to do content. It just feels bad, because I'm like, okay, well, at least make hero uniques better. You haven't. You've given us the option to purchase more, but you haven't actually in reality given us more when you think about it that way, right? Because you're now saying you have to spend more in order to be able to do it. And of course, this new level cap, you've given us new levels, but you haven't, and you increase the gold. But like I said, I made the comparison before. It's almost like you increase the gold and then said, here's new levels. So it's almost as if that you just said, here's more, I'm giving you more money. I'm giving you more of an allowance now, but also you have to start paying your own car insurance. It kind of just negates it, right? Because the the car insurance is more expensive than the allowance that you gave me, etc. The new levels for all these different teams that I have to invest into is more than the actual increase that you're giving me, or multiple times more than the actual increase you're giving me. So I think that's really kind of where the problem is. T5s could be good. Hopefully they do it on some of these older legendary characters. I think that's probably the best way for them to go, just to make some of those older legendary characters feel legendary again in Marvel Strike Force. Last thing I wanted to touch on here, we also got some character availability updates. So Captain Sam is going to be going to Doom 2.6, and in my honest opinion, I think that's probably the best place that he could have gone. Where else was he going to go? They weren't going to put him in a Heroes campaign. They weren't going to put him in a Villains campaign. They definitely for sure weren't going to put him in a Nexus campaign. They were definitely going to have to put him into some Doom campaign. And I honestly thought that they were going to throw him into Doom Chapter 3 node, let's say node 3. I thought this node right here, Doom 3.3, was probably where they were going to throw Captain Sam. Now, they probably could still have plans to throw Sharon Carter there, so we don't know where they're going to throw her. But Captain Sam being available now in Doom 2.6, he's going to be replacing Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl is going to go to an earlier, easier node for her to be farmed, which I think is good overall for some of the earlier players, because she's a Hero City character. So that actually might help out free-to-play players a little bit there. So I do actually like that they are making this move. But it leads to the question, where are they going to throw Sharon Carter, and how soon are we going to find out? I feel like we're not going to find out again, and probably till not this week's blog post, but probably the next blog post. And I think 2 weeks after that, we're probably going to be getting Omega Red. I feel like they're going to announce it, giving us probably maybe about 10 days or so before we get Omega Red. And that's just my expectation. I'm curious to know what your predictions are. I would say so. Today's Black Bolt, we could probably get another legendary. We're going to get another legendary character again on the 1st. And I could definitely see on the 15th that's probably when we're going to have our first opportunity here to get Omega Red. And I'm assuming that we probably will find out where Sharon Carter is going to go probably on the 5th, which I said is going to give us kind of a short period of time here before we can farm her shards and then get to land Omega Red. Those are my honest thoughts here in regards to where the time frame that we're going to find out Sharon Carter, and then also the time frame where we're going to get Omega Red as well. But curious to hear what your predictions are. But this is pretty much it, guys, for me. There's probably a lot more to talk about and discuss here, but like I said, Lady Deathstrike event looks pretty good. The honorable orbs, man, they are absolutely garbage. The H4H Compensation, good, but could be way better and could be a lot more impactful for players in this game. The T5s and legendary rework could be good. The impact could be great if they do it on some of these older legendary characters that are no longer in the top tier meta. And the character availability for Captain Sam, good. Sharon Carter, hopefully won't be as bad, but definitely looks like Omega Red is probably going to be showing up sometime here on the 15th of November. That's my prediction again. But appreciate you guys watching the video. Let me know, guys. Curious always to know what your thoughts are about the game. How are you enjoying the game right now? What are your frustration levels? Leave it in the comments, guys. Love to hear from you guys. But until next time, y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe. Whee! Let's go. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to everybody. If I didn't say that already, I appreciate you guys. Have a good one. Let me sip my water.